Hello to everyone! This is Quilt Stories channel with you. Today we will sew a decorative pillow using the carved seam method. The method is very simple and easy, and you will be surprised when you succeed from the first time. For the pillow we need strips of fabric measuring 2.5 or 3 inches in width, and the length for strips should be equal to the width of your pillow. So let's get started. We take 2 strips of fabric and put them face up. The front side of the strip should look at us. Here how we put it and cut it, trying not to come out of this corridor. If you don't feel quite confident to cut the strip right away with a knife, you can draw such a curved line, for example, and cut off along it. If someone has no roller knife, you can draw the line and cut with scissors on the one side of the fabric and then attach it to the other piece. Draw and cut off. Here is such a way out if you have no roller knife. Since I have one, I will cut the fabrics right away. So, here's what we got. Here's how it looks like. Now we will stitch it here. Let's put the pieces face to face. We can also pin the ends to fix parts here. Some people also pin parts here and here in the middle too. I won't do that because I don't have large band, and therefore I can stitch small bands without fixing them. Now you will see how it looks like. We start the stitch line. You need to make a small stitch. I have 2 to 2 stitch, for example. So we start sewing. Please don't hurry up, move very slowly. Keep 1/4 inch over measure and join the edges of our 2 strips. We move the fabric all the time to make sure we match the edges. That's what we've got. Do not be afraid that it looks so crooked, wavy and wrinkled. The iron will fix it all. Our task is to iron all wrinkles. Here's what we got. Let's take the next strip of fabric and put it on the previous. This one is a bit shorter, but I will align it later. And once again, we take a knife, cut the block like this and lay the piece here. Here's the end and I will fix it. It's the start point for my next stitch. So we take the sewing machine and start stitching neatly, slowly, keeping and attaching one strip to another. So I have already connected several strips. It only remains a few parts and I will show you the result. We will do the same with those strips, cut and stitch. Here is our pillowcase top we finally got. Now let's prepare it for stitching. To do this, we will take the fabric for the inside. For example, I take the remains from tulle and other cuts. It's great for her pillowcases. Then we put the filler. I have the slim tags 150. And now we put the top block like this. Now we will pin all 3 layers so that nothing could move and start stitching. Our top is ready for stitching when we have pinned all 3 layers. By the way, this technique of cuffed seams is very nice on smoothly dyed fabrics, when the fabric is plain without patterns or on batik fabric. However, it also fits great to colored fabrics, and it looks in a very different way. So, I will stitch the pillow with the help of the top conveyor, a standard line. Stitch width is 3.5, and the stitch goes along those carved lines. Also try to change threads to match the fabric color if you can. Let's go! So let's look at the pillowcase we got after stitching. You can do such a stitch even without a special working foot because the product we quilt is very small. And there may be no sagging at the end of the line. The stitching gives texture and great design to the product. Now we need to cut our block straightly. And we also need 2 pieces of fabric for back side. I'll put them on like this. One side is 12 inches, the other is 10 inches. We impose them in such a way to form a kind of a pocket here. And then we sew it along 4 sides. Let's cut it off. This part will go into the seam, so it's okay. Now we lay out those sides and sew them together. Edges can be stitched in zigzag or with overlock. That's what we got when we turned out the pillow. Here is a pocket. And now we will tuck our pillow there. This is how we do it. So this is my small pillow I quilted.